My father is the most awful person in the world, the cruelest and the most horrible. He left my mom and me to fate when I was 7 years old. I will never forget the day he packed his things and left the house, saying, "Forgive me, Jen." That was his apology to me, and he didn't leave us a penny. He had no idea what we went through after he left. At first, my mom just cried. Then she turned to alcohol and smoking. To give you an idea, she had never drunk or smoked in her life. And then she found a new pastime, blaming me for everything. Every day I woke up to screams, and it was the same when I went to sleep. My mom said I reminded her of the jerk she married, who left her for another woman. To avoid causing her problems, I try to be home as little as possible. She quit her job, and we survived on welfare. As you can imagine, we had very little money. Then I started working, taking care of the elderly or waitressing, whatever job I could find. Not everyone would hire me because of my tomboy appearance and my not-so-friendly face, but what was there to be happy about? Was there any reason for it? The only thing that brought me solace was playing my guitar. I found a broken one in a dumpster many years ago, fixed it up, and played it. And so the years went by. Then, one day, he came back. It was May 15th, 2022. I still remember that day. My mom was sound asleep during the day, as always, in a drunken stupor, and I'd received another rejection letter for admission to the conservatory for guitar playing. Upset, I went out into the yard, lit a cigarette, and then someone knocked on the front door. I approached, and there stood some skinny dude. He was so skinny that his skin was translucent. "Hello, Jen. My daughter." Without thinking much, I just walked into the house and closed the door in his damn face. Then he managed to slip an envelope into the room. "Just take a look inside. I promise it's all for you. Just don't tell your mom," he told me. Inside the envelope was $2,000, and so I opened the door. "You have 4 minutes. What do you want?" "Thank you, my dear. I'm so happy to see you." "The clock's ticking. Let's get to the point." "You're so beautiful." "All right, leave. You're just wasting my time." Wait, hold on. I still have 3 minutes. I'll give you more money. Just, please, enroll in the conservatory for paid education." "How do you know I want to go there?" "I've always been interested in your life." "Don't lie to me. You abandoned me and Mom 10 years ago. You don't care about us. Go back to your new family. I don't need your gifts." Throwing the envelope in his face, I turned away. "But He began his sentence and didn't finish it. Tears choked me, but I didn't want to show it. He walked towards the exit, looking sad, and said he'd write later and bring me more money. I hid the dollars for myself, deciding not to tell my mom anything. He actually did come when the money was running out. He brought another envelope, leaving it outside the door because I refused to open it. He greeted me from behind it and coughed heavily. I don't know, I felt sorry for him, so I handed him a glass of water over the threshold. He thanked me and drank it. Then I asked if everything was okay. He laughed and said that was the best question he'd ever heard. "Are you serious about the conservatory?" "Just submit the application. I'll pay for everything. I'll bring as much as you need. It was good to see you, kiddo." "Wait, but why are you doing all this for me?" "Because I want to help you be happy." So he left. I submitted the application and waited for a response. Mom came to her senses after a couple of drunken days. While she was still sleeping, I decided to go grocery shopping. There I met an acquaintance, and we discussed some guitar-related things, and I decided to order myself a new acoustic guitar worth a small fortune. I came home happy with my new purchase and wanted to take it to my room while Mom was asleep, but she wasn't. My whole room was turned upside down. My mother approached me and slapped me in the face. "What the hell? Where did you get that money?" "What's happening, Mom?" "What's happening?" A response came from the conservatory. "Well, congratulations, you got accepted. But where am I supposed to get that much money for your education? Who will pay? You? And what do you have in your hands?" "No, Mom, I'll explain everything." "A guitar? Where did that come from? Are you some kind of prostitute? Dealing drugs? I knew it. You're a disgrace. My biggest failure. You know what? You're just like him. An unbearable girl who causes a bunch of problems." My mom hit me in the face again. Before I could recover, she grabbed the guitar and threw it against the wall with such force that it shattered into pieces. "Jen, are you home? Is Mom sleeping?" My father's voice echoed from the living room. "Who the hell is that?" my mother asked spitefully and left the room. Oh no. At first, my mother was horrified by Father's appearance. For the first time, I really got a close look at his thin arms, legs, with huge bags under his eyes. His shirt and pants hung on him. There was a big bag next to him, and he could barely lift it. My mother attacked him, screaming and trying to drive him out of the house, blaming him for our misery, and he said, "I didn't think you would stoop this low. Cigarettes? Alcohol? Look at what you've become." His words infuriated my mom, and she started cursing and hitting him, causing Father to stagger. As I watched all this horror unfold, I couldn't remember if we ever had any happy moments in our family. Then my father reached out and called me to come with him. "You don't build this house with her," he said calmly, and my mother gave me a venomous look. "I won't allow it. You have no right. Do you understand?" she screamed. But I left. A few hours later, we were already in my father's house. It was small but cozy. I was greatly surprised. My father then handed me the bag he brought with him. There was $1 million inside. He said it was all for me, for the house, and for my education. He only asked that I not ask questions and simply accept it. A week later, I started attending classes at the conservatory. In a month